The Spiritual Surgery Podcast with Paula Mary, international psychic medium and healer. The Spiritual Surgery Podcast is a development show focusing on techniques, debates, guests, and much more. To get in touch, email spiritualsurgery@thepsychicclinic.com.
Hello, I'm Paula Mary, and this is the Spiritual Surgery Show. Keith Cole is a Marine Corps Vietnam combat veteran, former CPA, and author of Burnt Out, God's Recovery Plan. Keith fought near the DMZ, was wounded multiple times, and spent years afterwards building a successful business career while quietly falling apart inside, emotionally, physically, spiritually, the whole thing. The turning point came one late night, alone in his office, where Keith finally surrendered. Not a strategy, not a system, just surrender. And that became the beginning of real healing through faith and daily spiritual disciplines. So I'm actually more than delighted to welcome Keith onto the Spiritual Surgery Show. Hello, Keith.
Well, hi, Paula. And I am very grateful that you had me on your program. And so thank you very much.
Thank you. It's lovely to have you. For our listeners, where are you? Whereabouts are you based in America?
I'm just, I'm in a suburb of Washington, D.C., just in Bethesda, Maryland.
Lovely.
So very close to the capital.
Fantastic. And how long have you been there?
We have been in the area for over 30 years,
wow.
35 years, I guess.
Wow, really good. So I'd like to start at the beginning. You've got a really wonderful story, even though it's very emotional and sad, a lot of it, but also how you've come through that is absolutely amazing. So I'd like to start at the beginning. How did you become a Marine?
You know, all of my adult life after the Marine Corps, people are often surprised when I tell them I had no intention of going into the Marine Corps.
Right.
My plan as a little kid and my dream was I was going to become a Methodist minister.
Right. Interesting.
And so as a little guy, I actually played preacher, and I would preach to my imaginary congregation in the stairway.
Wow.
But when I was a senior in high school, my dad, who was a railroader all of his life, and he had a stroke, and he died a few months after that stroke.
Right.
And when that happened, my reaction to his death just threw me in a total turmoil.
Yes, of course.
I lost my faith in God. I was mad at God. I blamed God.
Yes.
I became quite rebellious from that point on.
Right.
I did manage to finish high school.
Gosh.
But it was a rough road. And
yes.
At that time, I had a little brother and sister at home, and of course, my mother. And their feelings and their pain and their loss, I totally ignored. It was all me. And I'm terribly selfish about it. And no matter what my mother said, I still enlisted into the Marine Corps.
Right.
I had 3 older brothers who were Marines.
Right.
And so my intention, of course, was to, as a minister, I would be a chaplain.
Yes.
And I would go into the Navy and get assigned to the Marine Corps.
Right.
And, but of course, that all went by the wayside. And I enlisted in the Marines, and of course, Vietnam was going on at that particular time.
God.
And so there was being a tough guy with
Yes.
chip on his shoulder and everything else. And I
So
was
do you
in,
think you sort of escaped to the Marines then for the grief? Do you think you sort of ran away there?
well, I think that a lot of it had to do with my anger.
Yes.
I was very angry. Uh, Part of, I I really grieved the loss of my dad.
Yes.
Um, but anger pretty much controlled my life from that point on.
Yes.
And so I thought I was a tough guy. I'd go to war and be a Marine.
Yes.
Uh, it did.
But
It
that
didn't.
was that was your journey. You know, that I feel that was what you probably had to achieve to where you are now, if that makes sense. So sometimes we have to.
I think that probably has a lot to do with it. Yes.
Yes.
But when I got into boot camp, I realized I wasn't quite as tough as I thought I was.
No, you look a softie, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So did you feel then that, you know, when you were in the Marines, did you able to cope with your grief better, or did it become sort of on top of what you were doing? Did it become worse for you?
In Marine Corps boot camp, my number one goal was to survive.
Right.
Right. And so it was, I, I knew Marine Corps boot camp was tough.
Yes.
I, you know, I didn't realize it was as tough as it was.
Right.
And so, and very busy, very preoccupied, with, drill instructions yelling at you and carrying on and everything.
Yeah.
So there was always, plenty there, which probably a distraction
Yes.
from my grief at the time.
Right. Yeah, very, very difficult. You said you were wounded several times. Could you tell the listeners what injuries you sustained and how this impacted you emotionally? And are you still impacted emotionally today?
Well, I'd been in Vietnam. My total tour of Vietnam was 9.5 months. And
Right.
so for the first 6 months I was there,
Yes.
there'd been, several battles and, artillery attacks on us and mortars and those type of things.
Yes.
Small arm fire, of course. And, but after 6 months, I was never shot. I was really proud of that.
Good.
and, and then I got wounded for the first time.
Whoa.
And that was pretty bad. I went to a hospital ship.
Right.
And so I'm there for a while. Then I came back to Vietnam after that. And about a month and a half or so later, I was wounded again.
Gosh.
And the second time, not as bad as the first, but I went to a field hospital. And
Right.
then I came back. Then about a month and a half or so of that,
Gosh.
something like that, I was wounded for a third time, and that was much more severe.
Right.
And so then I was, when I was medevac that time, then I was medevac on back to the United States.
Right.
Where I spent several months in hospital.
Right.
In Chicago, Naval Hospital.
Yes.
And after that, I went back to duty again.
Gosh.
And so this time, it was what we call INI duty, which is instructor and inspector.
Right.
And our job was train reserves when they came on the weekend.
Yes.
But the duty was a lot more than that. With the war going on and continue going on in Vietnam, we were tasked with notifying the next of kin.
Right.
When their Marine was killed or wounded in action. And then we were the honor guard for that fallen Marine.
Gosh.
And Paula, in so many ways, that was much more difficult than being
Right.
shot at.
Gosh. Yeah, I can imagine. But going back to where you were sort of first shot, did it ever come to your mind, I've got to get out of here? Like after the first wound that you had, was it like, I need to escape? But then you went back again and then you went back again each time. Did it feel like I can't do this? Or was it like, I'm going to do this?
Yeah, I mean, it never came an option. My, uh, I never wanted to get wounded.
No, of course not.
And, 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 the desire of being, wounded a second time, certainly, the lack of desire was much stronger.
Yes.
After being wounded once, I definitely didn't want wounded again.
No.
And, because then, after a couple of times, whoa, my luck's running out here.
Yes. So
You
how
know,
did you pick yourself up, Keith? How did you pick yourself up? Like, I think I'd be floored and won't ever want to go back. How did you pick yourself up to go? How did you do that?
well, thinking back, I don't know.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
there's
like,
something inside of us, isn't there, that you are a Marine and that's what your duty is. And
yeah, no, exactly. I mean, there wasn't an option for that.
no.
You know,
No.
I mean, what do you do? Desert? I don't know.
No.
I'm not sure. But and the thing of it is like, I mean, other Marines were wounded.
Yes.
It wasn't something like, wake up in the morning and say, oh, okay, let's go find Keith Cole,
No.
type of thing, right?
Yes.
And so it was just expected, I guess.
Yes. So
Right?
how long did it take you then to actually connect yourself that you emotionally, physically were slowly sort of collapsing inside? When did that come into play?
Um, during the time notifying next of kin and serving as honor guard for the
Yes.
Marine,
Yes.
I don't want misunderstood as excuse me, as a member of the honor guard.
Yes.
That was definitely an honorable duty,
Yes, of course.
but it also was at a cost. It was
Yes.
at a price of coping with that was
Yes.
very difficult at the time.
Yes.
And so at that particular time, I spent a lot of evenings in a bar,
Right.
a lot of drinking, and uh, drink late hours into the next morning and that sort of thing. But
Right.
never missed work. No, yeah, always showed up. But that was very difficult
Yes.
times.
I can imagine. And you finally surrendered. So could you expand on the feelings around that? What happened that night, the night that you actually thought, this is it, I surrender, and then became the real healing that came to you? What actually happened that night?
So I was in my office. Then it was late. Everybody had actually gone home, and I was at my desk, and I just hadn't been feeling right the whole day,
Yes.
and so by this time I was kind of befuddled or something,
Yes.
just feeling edgy, definitely.
Yes.
And I always kept a bottle of scotch right down here in my desk drawer,
Right.
and I pulled that out. I always have my glass on the table, But instead of pouring a glass, I just drank it from the bottle.
Right.
And you just, I mean, you take a big drink of scotch from a bottle. I mean, you should know something. You should feel that. But
Yes, I won't tell you. I think at 13, I took my mum and dad had whiskey, and I was 13 when I necked it from the bottle late at night when they weren't knowing. And oh my God, I didn't do it again.
yeah, right, right. So, yeah, if you do something like that, it should get your attention.
Yes.
Yeah. But it seemed nothing to me at that time. And so what? I reached for the bottle again. I picked it up. I was going to drink again. And then I slammed it back down. I remember slamming it onto my desk and saying, no. And I think I yelled out, I can't do this anymore. And I just yelled out again to God and asked God to help me and to forgive me. And so it was I spent a lot of that anyway, that night in my face in the floor, praying and crying. Pretty much that was kind of explosive, but the whole process, I think, is a matter of getting beaten down
Yes.
with the memories over a long period of time.
Yes. Absolutely. So after that night, what actions did you take? What did you feel that you had to change? Which direction did you sort of go in?
Well, it made me just wonder what in the world happened with my life, in all these years.
Yes.
Because I was very, I was successful. I look successful. I act successful. And, I had a successful business.
Yeah.
And so it was, but that was all on the outside. That was all the show. That was the mask, so to speak. But inside, just falling apart. It was just so very difficult. And so I thought, well, what happened? Well, all these years, we're talking decades.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so I came home from the Marines, and I got out of the Marine Corps in 1970.
Okay.
So I'd come home from Vietnam in 1967.
Right.
So we're talking a long time ago.
Yes. Yes.
Right? And so I said, what happened? And so I started writing about. I put this on paper. I said, okay, let me go back. Let me think this through. And no intention of writing a book. It's like after I did write a book, my older brother said, "You know English well enough to write a book?" and I said, "My heart wrote the book."
Yes.
And then I left the rest of that up to the editors. So,
Right.
But as I'm writing, trying to remember different things that happened from the time my dad died until up to that time, and as I'm writing this, and I have what I call God's recovery plan.
Yes.
And so I'm looking at that, I'm reading and studying that, and so well, this is helping me. Well, then maybe I wasn't a Vietnam vet, and I says besides, it doesn't have to be Vietnam. We've had so many wars since then.
Yes.
It just doesn't. It never stops. And then I thought too, well, you don't even have to be a veteran to have trauma.
No.
There's so many. It's almost like here, take your choice, what type of trauma you want. There's so many types,
Yes.
one to fit everybody. And so you don't have to be combat veteran, don't even have to be a veteran, anybody. And so I thought maybe I could write a book. And so what I actually did, instead of writing in a sense about me, I created a fictional Marine that I called Kevin Casey.
Right. Interesting.
And I took my memories, my pain, and my redemption, and I poured it into this Kevin Casey fella.
Wow.
And so that way, where all the names are fictional, but all the stories and the actions are mine.
Yes.
But when I'm writing it, I'm writing about Kevin Casey.
Yes.
And so that made it much easier, because it's very difficult to go back some of the memories and things.
Oh, yes, absolutely. No, totally. So your book is Burnt Out, God's Recovery Plan. Is that correct?
I'm sorry?
Your book is called God's Recovery Plan.
It's Burnout, God's Recovery.
Burnout. Okay. So do you now work with people that are burnt out, Keith, and do you help them?
So, yeah. So I also reach out to churches, church organizations, and to veteran organizations primarily. So with that, I have I give talks as well as workshops.
Yes.
Based on God's recovery plan.
Right.
So that God's recovery plan it's in the book, but then I'll also put it into kind of a workbook on its own by itself.
Right.
And the reason I did that is because the book is not very long. It's only about 100 pages.
Right.
And so it's a 9x6. So it's a little thing.
Yes.
And
right.
And so it's kind of hard to write and to follow the workbook inside a book like that.
Yes.
And so I made this workbook an 8.5 by 11.
Right.
And it's God's recovery plan, and it's a praiser. So a praiser is an acronym. So A is for action, P is for prayer.
Yes.
And R is for reading of scripture.
Right.
And so there's these 8 different elements.
Right.
And with each element there's a Bible verse that goes with it.
Right.
And so every element is grounded in scripture.
Right.
And after each week, it's the same 8 elements, but the next is that the Bible verses change for each element.
Right.
So that then it goes for 12 weeks.
Right.
And Paula, I can't tell you how many times I've been through this now, through the workbook. But from this, I have truly found I have peace of mind.
That's amazing.
And I don't think I've had peace of mind since my dad died.
Wow. So it's taken that journey to be able to help yourself, but to help others too, to come forward.
So, correct. So now, and that's the only reason I wrote the book, is because it helped me, and I believe it'll help others.
Help others, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely help others as well. But it's so good that you can come forward and help yourself with the grief with your dad as well.
That's been more difficult, I think, than writing the book.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because writing it, I'm writing about Kevin Casey. And I get on a program such as yours.
Yes.
Which is, can be picked up any place in the world, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
it's all over. It's on the internet.
Yes.
And to do that and to admit that I had burnout, to admit that, I suffered for a very long time through this.
Yes.
Uh,
But it shows
across,
strength. It shows your spirituality. It shows your strength. It shows your commitment to yourself and your family. It shows that you want to help others. It is, it's huge.
Yeah, it's certainly not weakness.
No, absolutely
Right.
not. No,
And
the prayer of God as well. It's very powerful, and it feels like at the beginning of this podcast, you said, you didn't really want to leave the church, but it feels like you've come back strong with that.
I think that the whole thing, I mean, especially being in the Marine Corps and then leaving the Marines and combat.
Yes.
And I look over, the things that I did. I got out of the Marine Corps earlier than I had planned, because I had gotten a phone call one day from my brother saying my mother was dying and probably wouldn't live through the night. And so after her funeral, then I went back to the Marines and I requested a discharge to be the guardian for my younger brother and sister.
Right.
So at 23 years old, I was a guardian for two young teenagers.
Right.
And that was not easy.
No. It's, Marine or looking after. I don't know which one's good or not.
Yeah, right.
Both with positives and negatives, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, there definitely were. But that's it. That all through all these things, I just saw myself as a very strong person.
Yes.
Right. And
absolutely.
And so being strong, especially in my own mind, I would never think about asking for help.
Right.
And so having the strength to go through these things is good on one hand, but it was very bad for my thinking wise.
Yes.
To do that because I never reached out for help. Can
I ask you why? Was it because you
I could never do that. I was a Marine.
Right.
But
has that changed now? You're out of that, and if you look and you need some help, would you ask for help now? Has that shifted for you?
Oh, I don't mind asking for help.
Good.
At all.
Good.
Right. And so the thing is, through that whole process, strength because of the strength, as it pushed through, I'd push. And that strength worked until it didn't.
Yes.
Then I realized that it's not my strength I needed, but God's strength.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, it's an amazing story. It's an amazing journey that you've been on. What would you say the positives for you out of having such a sort of story in the Marines and everything and being in that burnt out state? What positives do you take from that, Keith? Any?
Yeah, I am extremely disciplined.
Yeah.
Right. And because of my Marine Corps experience, I believe that that certainly helped me to have the discipline and the courage to be self-employed.
Yes.
To have a CPA practice, but primarily it was for income taxes.
Right.
And because of that strength, I was able to help a lot of people through some very difficult problems with the Internal Revenue Service.
Yes.
And which I'm, proud of that, of course.
Yes.
And the but it all came back to the same thing. No matter how strong I was using my strength.
Yes.
And my strength, as naturally as you know, is not God's strength.
Yes.
And so I believe that after all of these years and through all the hardships, I think that God has used these hardships to get this message out to him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with your journey, there is a bigger a message with it, isn't it? And I think, you say you couldn't ask for help, but I think that's part of the message. Sometimes we have to reach out and ask for help. And it's not that, I know you were in the Marines and it was more difficult for that, but people listening, if you are in trouble and if you do, need help, then reach out for it, because that shows strength to me that you reach out for that help.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's part of my way I grew up, I think, in the era that I grew up also.
Yes.
Not just being a Marine, but being a man. It'd be hard to tell people I need help.
Yeah.
There's, PTSD, for example. The United States the Veterans Department administration never accepted that as an issue until 1980s.
Gosh, all that.
So,
time.
that was we had what, World War I, World War II, Korea,
Yes.
so all of that.
And things yes. Oh, sorry, I was going to say things have changed so much, haven't they, for when you were in there and now things are completely different. Would you say they've got more support now?
Oh, I think so. I think there's much more. I realize too that there's many more veteran organizations that are reaching out to vets as well.
Yes.
And so I think that's a real plus.
Yeah. No, absolutely, definitely. Yeah. I know that your dad would be proud of you. Does that help you that you can feel that that your dad would be proud of you?
I guess I've never quite thought of it that way.
Right.
I thought about my Marine Corps brothers.
Yeah.
And my actual brothers, where 3 of them were in the Marines.
Right.
And 2 of them have passed by now, but and definitely I know they were proud of me.
Yeah.
So, but for having someone to be proud of me just made me think I was stronger than I was too.
I think you're really strong, Keith. I mean, I think it's amazing the journey you've come through and how you survived, and the fact you're helping others is really true survival to me. And I think that you're very spiritual as well. Did you know about your spiritual side, or do you feel that came after the Marines, or did that sort of come to you while you were in the Marines?
Well, it wasn't. The thing of it is, the Marine Corps model is semper fidelis,
right?
Always faithful, and a part of that is God, country, and corps. Right. So there's a priority of that.
Yes.
But saying that, there's one thing of having faith in God and actually believing, having a true belief of God
Yes.
as well. On top of that,
Yes.
I think that that part of my faith, I think, has grown
Yes.
in leaps and bounds.
Well, the power of
And
prayer, the power of prayer is really,
Yeah.
really strong. And I think no matter what you believe in, that power of believing brings, it's the intention around it and everything, I think is really powerful. So, I pray, and I feel that the power of that is really, really strong. So and you can be spiritual. It doesn't matter what religion you believe in. I believe that you can just, connect to the power of prayer, and it will help you.
Yes, I would agree with you.
Yes.
My wife had a friend who he says he doesn't have any faith, and
Right.
I told my wife, I said, no, he definitely has faith.
Yes.
Just the question is, what does he have faith in?
True.
Right. So we all believe something.
Yeah, we have to believe it, though, don't we? We have to have the intention that what we're doing is actually going to be very powerful and work. And it's all about positivity, isn't it? It's about focusing on the positive intention and changes to help us move forward. I feel.
Yes.
Which you have abundance of positive intentions to move forward. So where has this taken you now, Keith? What do you do now? I know you say about the church and everything, and you help. Is there more that you do?
So yeah, I'm still reaching out for churches
Yes.
and for groups. It's the recovery plan that I talk about is the recovery plan that I believe I have from God.
Yes.
And it's definitely grounded in Scripture. And so I look mostly towards, churches and church organizations.
Yes.
Such as pastors and the clergy, but also so many church workers, even in nonprofit work,
Right.
are so devoted to what they do that they're neglecting themselves as well.
Absolutely, I think.
And that can be very dangerous.
Yes.
As I know.
Yes.
And so I'm reaching out to different groups like that.
Yeah. Well, I remember years ago, I used to work for social services, and I could only sustain it for 9 years. And there was a lot of social workers who were burnt out, believe me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I can recognise.
I can see where that could definitely take a toll as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. So finally, Keith, where can listeners buy your book, and where can people find you or search for you?
The best place is just to go directly to my website, which is recoverybyfaith.com.
Okay.
And on the web, and from the website, there's links, there's different resources. I have a blog, a newsletter, and but also there's links there to Amazon and other Christian bookstores.
Okay.
Where the book and the workbook both can be.
So they can buy the book from going on to your website.
To get them there, yes. Brilliant. And so if they wish, they can reach out directly to me.
Yes.
By using on the website. You can reach me from the website, but also you can directly email me by just saying Keith at, and that's recoverybyfaith.com. Just put a Keith at in front of the website name.
Fantastic, Keith. Well, thank you so much for coming on Spiritual Surgery show. And it was such a delight to talk to you and to listen to your story, and the courage that you've had to come through is absolutely amazing. And just continue being you and helping others. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paula Mary. You're just wonderful. And I certainly appreciate you and your audience.
Thank you.
And I will continue to pray for you and your audience as well.
Lovely.
So thank you so very much.
Thank you, Keith. Take care.
Thanks for joining us on the Spiritual Surgery Podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to get in touch with us, just send us an email to spiritualsurgery@thepsychicclinic.com.